the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Abusuafo Yamamuakwaba eba Nsem-Pii TV so. Na over this week, within this week, so what follow the proceedings in Parliament? Obehunu say Supreme Court judges nominees, 7 of them. Mahama edi omo Supreme Court here omo vetting. Ya vetting nipa 6. Nipa baako abeka ye no Justice Akabuafo. Na de akoba ne say obi the petition against him equal Parliament. Na abusuafo ne appointment committee of Parliament led by Chairman Bernard Ahiamfo, first deputy speaker, etna sa petition so eno mo hunu say unmeritorious, frivolous and capricious enti omo dismiss sa petition against the judge no a omo no vetting ne na no ena omo dismiss petition no ena Afenyo Markins, mighty Afenyo Markins kasa no say petitions be say na enkofo bi tena ase ebo apa the call yes against the Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Torkorno ena Mahama government atena hwe ha edi omani edi petitions say echi na petition against Justice Akabuafo no omo say wakoye ruling bi nipa wode koye no 1 Anthony be no say or a lawyer or the case call Justice Akabuafo anim eno ditia no into the petition against him abase omo fa Supreme Court judge ne ma no na Afenyo Markins say ensem bi say ya NDC for mo wodi tia Gertrude Torkorno Araba the Chief Justice banye di na ni di ekire a chese enu nti o suspension na kotias kwatena fie no na say omo appointment committee no atimi dismiss this petitioner and the say Chief Justice petition so omo hwe na omo nye due diligence na say omo be dismiss petitions against him against Chief Justice Torkorno omo nye no fast na maame no resume na adwuma na anopa wa keka nsem papa yanko tie.
Thank you for the opportunity. Chairman, I am in agreement with the views you've expressed for and on behalf of this committee. Indeed, as a country, we need to veer from trivialities and situations where we subject people's reputation to undue public ridicule. I am happy that this committee has boldly stood up for democracy, rule of law, and in helping deal with matters as frivolous as what came before us. Unfortunately, if you look at the ongoing trial of the Chief Justice of the Republic, we have one Daniel Ofori who refers to a judgment which the Chief Justice was involved as a basis for attacking the woman and calling for her removal. If you also read Yakubu Akogo Ayanga, similar frivolous allegations are made that the Chief Justice made certain pronouncement against him in open court. Unfortunately, these two scenarios have been deemed to constitute a prima facie case amounting to misconduct, justifying inquiry into the conduct of a Chief Justice. And the Chief Justice of the Republic is on suspension as a result of this. I am happy that as a committee, we stood firm to the test and we have risen above pettiness and trivialities. Chairman, my second comment has to do with feedback from certain quarters regarding the minorities' stance on some of the issues that have come up as part of this vetting. I would want to pray the public to appreciate where we're coming from. We are not here to get personal. We are here to deal with the law and issues of public policy, good governance. So for those who are saying that, oh, you guys are lawyers, why are you subjecting nominees to all these hard questions when you appear before them? They are also likely to do that to you. Well, my answer to them as a person, I speak for myself. If Mr. Speaker grants me that exemption to practice, I will do as I've always done. If a judge believes that he should rule against me because I did my work, so be it. I've never been afraid to practice at the Supreme Court. When I was in opposition, 2013 to 2016, I was a regular visitor in that court. And I was never deterred by any action or any ruling against me. I will do my job, and I will do so out of great deference, out of great respect. And I'm not here to attack anybody's person. So I want those who are being impatient and intolerant to please understand the space I am in. That is the work of the minority. Our job is to enrich democracy, and that's exactly what we are doing. Don't get irritated. Please bear with us. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, before proceeding to administer the oath, let me place on record that the issues raised by the minority leader regarding the petition against the Chief Justice are before another body and will be dealt with in accordance with law. There was also no evidence or issue of a judge dealing with the minority leader in any manner whatsoever. We are dealing with issues of facts and applying the law to the facts. So I plead with the minority leader not to preempt anything. I will therefore go ahead and call on the clerk of the committee to administer the oath.
I do hereby administer the oath. I
Koikutewia Akaboafo,
do in the name of the before this committee,
that the evidence I shall give before this committee
touching the matter in issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Honorable members, may I proceed by asking the nominee to give us a brief background.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. I'm Koikutewia Akaboafo. My mother, the late Agnes Kwesen, is from Wasa East, Mamponso, raised in Aboso, settled at Insusaiden in the Western region. My father, Nicholas Eduaka, is from Western North. I'm a Fie and Akekrum. So from the records, I think I'm the first nominee to come from the Western North. And for the Western region, I'm actually the third nominee from the Western region. I had my secondary education. I started from St. Augustine Secondary School at Bogoso in the Western region. I left there after 2.5 years, came to Winneba Secondary School, Winnisek, where I had my O-levels. I had my A-levels at Secondary College. From there, I did my national service at Aboso in the Western region. Came to University of Ghana, Legon. I was a resident of the Commonwealth Hall. I went through with an LLB degree. From there, I went to Ghana School of Law. I was called to the bar in 1996. I did a brief practice. I did my pupillage at Bosonchi Salmon Associates in Takoradi. From there, I joined my brother, Ben Akajesi, to start Kendrick's law firm. In 1999, I left Ghana. I went to Eric Castrine Institute for Human Rights and Public Administration, University of Helsinki. I had my LLM there. I was then enrolled in a licentiate program, which was towards a PhD, but I didn't complete it. So I migrated to Canada, where I enrolled at the University of Ottawa Law School for my pupillage. I was called for my post-Canadian bar. I was called to the Canadian bar as a barrister and solicitor and notary. And I practiced law in Toronto, Canada as a criminal defense counsel. I also appeared before many of the other courts, the federal court, the superior court, did many work there. In 2015, I was appointed as a justice of the High Court, 1st April. I spent 7.5 years at the High Court. In December 2022, I was elevated to the Court of Appeal, where I have continued to work till now. I am married to the beautiful lady behind me, Joycelyn Kuku Akabuafo. We are blessed with 2 children, Nick and Maud. I'm a born-again Christian, a member of the Full Gospel Church, and grace has found me. I call myself a PGG. I'm a product of God's grace. So I am here today to be vetted for the Apex Court of Ireland. Thank you very much.
Thank you, nominee. Honourable members, we then proceed to take questions. I will start with the subject matter committee members, and I'll call on Honourable Petition to start.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Congratulations, my Lord. I have a few questions for you. The first is, my Lord, are there enough lawyers in Ghana? And if your answer is no, what do you think can be done to increase the number of lawyers in the country? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Well, at the last count, the information I got, because I teach at the law school, is that between 1877 and 1963, there were 570 lawyers in Ghana. And I mentioned 1877 because of the Judicature Act. But from 1962 till now, as of May 2015, at the last call, I think the lawyers from 62 to May 2025 is about 10,400 and something. So in effect, many lawyers or lawyers in Ghana in total would be about 11,000 something. From the Ghana Bar Association portal, as I asked around, you see practicing lawyers will be about 8,000. To that extent, there are not enough lawyers in Ghana, because if you look at our population, then you have about 2,000 people to a lawyer. If I compare it to Ontario, in 2020, the Ontario population is 14-point-something million with over 56,000 lawyers, which will be about 1 to about 7,700. So to that extent, no, there are not many lawyers in Ghana. So I think that something ought to be done. What should be done is something for discussion. And you asked me what should be done. I mean, at this stage, we know that it's the Ghana School of Law that train lawyers. There have been conversation that the institutions that train the LLBs should be allowed to do the professional. I will hasten to add that we need to be very careful how we're using candidates. The question to be asked is, do they have the requisite material and the qualified lecturers to teach there. Because let me say this. If you produce, let's say, 100 graduates, and they write the entrance exam as it exists now, and you don't have more than 10 people passing, then I think there's something wrong. So yes, we should enlarge it, but we should be very careful because after LLB, somebody must do pupillage. Do we have qualified chambers to train the lawyers who will qualify? If we have over 8,000 lawyers and there are only about 1,200 registered chambers, there will be a problem. But yes, there's the need to enlarge the number, but it's a conversation that should be had deeply and without any emotions. Thank you.
My Lord, we know your background. As a lecturer, you can be lecturing for the whole day, but we don't intend keeping you for the whole day. So I humbly plead that we observe the brevity principle and short answers will be given to questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very well noted.
Yes. Any further question?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have no follow-up question, but I have a second question for my Lord. My Lord, there is a troubling trend of people using social media to abuse or defame other people. Some hold the view that suing them and awarding damages against them amounts to curtailing freedom of expression. Do you agree with this position, my Lord?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the Venerable Justice, a well-known justice known to everybody who has studied the law, the name just escaped me, from Britain, and I'm sure by saying Venerable, all of us remember him. In the case of British Steel Corporation versus Granada, said, Lord Denning said, freedom, if you want to deserve freedom, the press deserving freedom, they must work for it because free speech is not taken. In Pakenham and North Carolina, Justice Scalia said, acting on social media, it is like the old style writing in newspapers. Therefore, there must be some guidelines there. So if you go on social media and you use that to abuse somebody, and the person thinks that he's defamed, I think that going into the court will not be gagging anybody. There must be responsibility. People must be responsible on social media. Thank you.
Any further question?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. No follow-up question, but I have a